We are going on the Douro River cruise. The whole family. Hey friends, thanks for joining me on this episode of My Expat Life in Portugal. We find ourselves on the Douro River in Porto, Portugal, where we're taking a 6 Bridges River cruise. A nice break from the hills of Porto. If you've been hiking around for a while and you need to let your legs take a break, then I would definitely suggest doing this. You get to sit back and relax for about an hour. The boat's accessible for all capabilities. We chose the cheapest excursion, which cost 20 euros a person and didn't have any guide or narration, which was okay with us. You can pay more and probably get a more extensive trip, so you get what you pay for with these. But nothing really beats putting around in a replica of one of these Habelo boats that used to haul wine up and down the Douro River. We'll have another episode about the boats. Today we're going to go on the 6 Bridges River cruise. So here we go. We start our adventure underneath the Pont Luís I Bridge, named after the Dom Luís I, the Portuguese king at the time. Is engineered by Theophile Seydig and inaugurated on October 31st, 1886. It's definitely the most famous of all Porto's bridges and consists of 2 different bridges, the upper and the lower bridge. See the lower bridge here? And the upper bridge was all traffic until 2003 when they cut off the car traffic and did metro only. Our next bridge that we're coming to is the Infante de Henrique Bridge, which is named after Henry the Navigator. And this was built when the decision to discontinue the car traffic on Louis I Bridge, where it was switched to metro and pedestrian only on the top. It was inaugurated in March 30th, 2003, and it's the most recent of all the bridges. It was designed by Adão Fonseca and is named after the famous Porto resident, Henry the Navigator. This bridge is the current world record holder of the longest concrete arch span of 280 meters. The next bridge we go under is the Maria Pia Bridge. Inaugurated on 1877, November 4th, it is named after the Queen at the time, who was also Louise's first wife, Queen Maria Pia. It was designed by Theophile Seydig and Gustave Eiffel of the Eiffel Tower fame. Hey, Mom! It closed in 1991 when they built this bridge here, the São João Bridge. Inaugurated on June 24th, 1991, engineered by Mr. Edgar Cardozo, and he was a legendary engineer here in Portugal. Off there in the distance there is the Freixo Bridge, inaugurated in 1995 and engineered by Antonio Reis. It's the most upstream bridge and is also the most basic but the longest bridge in all of Porto. And at that point, our boat captain decided it was time to turn this dang thing around, and back under the São João Bridge we went. Now, the Maria Pia Bridge was quite the engineering marvel for 1877. It was the first bridge to factor in wind shear strength to withstand the gale force winds that frequently come thundering through the Douro River Valley. For 7 years, it was the widest metal arch bridge in the world. Its Achilles heel was its narrowness. It only having a single rail and a max speed of 20 kilometers per hour, Porto and Gaia quickly outgrew the bridge and had to be replaced with the São João. It's still maintained and taken care of today, but nobody crosses the Maria Pia Bridge anymore. As we leave the peaceful waters of the upper Douro River for the city life of the Ribeiro district, we're going towards the Louis I Bridge one more time. Now, a popular misconception is that the Louis I Bridge was actually the one designed by Eiffel, when it was not. Eiffel had entered a competition with his colleague and disciple, Theophile, and had lost the competition to Theophile, who designed the whole bridge. So, there's that little tidbit of knowledge for you. The Louis I Bridge is supposed to be exemplary of Porto's unity because it's two bridges. The upper bridge that connects the two historical districts, and the lower bridge that connects the two Ribeiro districts.
That's where we're going on next.
That's you, babe.
Oh. Now, big, beautifully engineered bridges haven't always been a thing in Porto, Portugal. In fact, these 6 bridges have been built over the course of 126 years, starting in 1877. Before that, starting in 997 AD, for about 800 years, the style of bridge was just basically planks tied to ropes that were strung from one riverbank to the next. That was up until they had something called the Boats Bridge accident in 1809. On March 29, 1809, Napoleon's army, commanded by General Soult, invaded Porto from the north, and the fleeing people forced a huge crossing on one of these rope plank bridges. Well, the bridge ended up giving away somehow, and hundreds of people fell into the water and perished. And then other people didn't notice the bridge broke and kept pushing people into the water, which made hundreds more perish. Then the army was still attacking, and so they were killing people, which ended up bringing the casualties up into the thousands. It's a terrible disaster, and they celebrate it every year with the souls of the bridge in the Ribeira district to remember those who were fallen.
All right, we're on the last bridge of the 6 bridges tour. It's windy, getting over the ocean.
The last bridge we go under is the Expat Bridge, which is the most downstream bridge, inaugurated on June 22nd, 1963, and also built by the engineer Edgar Cardoso. Now, Cardoso was highly regarded as one of Portuguese's best engineers in the 20th century. He engineered 2 bridges for Porto, and this bridge is the most exposed to the crazy wind shear that comes ripping in off of the ocean, being only 2 kilometers from it. It has the biggest concrete arch span of any bridge in the world, and it's the last bridge built without any kind of computer analysis involved. With that, combined with Cardoso's approach to building, where he said to build it first and do the calculations later, people weren't really too sure if his arch was going to make it. So when they did the unveiling, there were Swedish engineers gathered up waiting for it to just crumble apart. But the bridge still stands to this day as a testament to Cardoso's genius in engineering. At this point in the river trip, we're just taking our time getting back to the dock. We've already seen all the bridges, and now we're just enjoying the fresh sea air that's blowing in. That reminds you of why sailboats were used so much in this place back in the day, because there's definitely no lack of wind. If you're going on one of these, you may want to bring a coat with you if it's a little bit chillier on land, because it seems to be a lot windier when you get out on the water. Here we see the Louis I Bridge for the last time from the water. Now, a king in Portugal is called a Dom, and Louis I as a king is called Dom Louis I. But the bridge is not called the Dom Louis Bridge because it's rumored that King Louis snubbed the ceremony in Porto in general by not showing up for the unveiling of the bridge that was named after him. So it's rumored that they changed the name and took the king off of it. So it's not called the Dom Louis Bridge, as that king is referred to. It's called the Pont Louis First Bridge, as a snub to the king who snubbed them. So there's some politics for it. So this is going to conclude our boat trip of the 6 Bridges River Cruise on the Douro River in Porto Portugal. I gotta tell you, it's definitely worth the 20 euros per person that we paid. To me, it was. And now you guys can save money by getting one of these cheap cruises, because I just told you everything that you need to know about the bridges. Just kidding. There's all kinds of different things that I didn't tell you. So that's just the basic rundown. That was enough time in this video for me to talk about. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me on this adventure, and we'll see you guys on the next one. If you want to subscribe and join my Patreon and do the bells thing and all that, I really do appreciate it. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Yo, Tim, we're leaving the boat, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was fun.